Hey guys, Issac Cain here, and I'm just gonna give some insight behind this match. This was a big moment for me. I had taken some time off, came back into the wrestling, had a kind of a different look. I had yet to don the white skull makeup yet, but it was a big deal because this was like the third time Matt Hardy had been a part of KFW, and it was going to be myself and Joseph Knight and Matt Hardy, a three-way match. And anytime you're going up against someone like Matt Hardy, you're very nervous. But the really cool thing about this match was the fans, as you can hear, were so enthusiastic. They were so into the idea of seeing Matt Hardy go up against two young guys. I mean, they had seen Matt Hardy go up against Chase Stevens 2 different times, and that's cool, but you expect a certain match from those two, and I think a match like this with two young guys, the fans didn't know what to expect, so that's kind of what made this match really cool. So I'm gonna kind of be watching it with you guys, and I'll pop in from time to time and give some feedback. The really cool thing about Matt Hardy was whenever it comes to how do I say this, correlating with Hardy, just talking about wrestling in general, and talking about matches and going over stuff. He was very open-minded, so a lot of the concepts you'll see here weren't things from his mind, but things from mine and Joseph's mind. So Joseph being the quintessential heel here and kind of backing off and staying outside of the ring, while Matt and I kind of have that classic babyface opening. This is when Matt was doing the stronger than death gimmick, so it was like he had went back to that kind of original Matt Hardy look, the slightly tweaked, and the stronger than death thing, because he had been through so much. So it was just a really cool experience working with him. Always good experience working with Joseph Knight, who made, total body transformation after this match. And coming up with the concept of doing DVDs like this, because at the time we didn't have, there wasn't commentary or during the shows, and I was like, well, what would be more interesting is doing commentary as if you're there in person, or doing commentary like on a movie DVD, where it's like, going into actual, kind of going a little bit more in depth. Matt was such a smooth guy to work with in the ring. He was so easy to work with. And Joseph and I had worked with each other so many times that it was kind of cool to take some of the stuff that we've done before and weave it in to this match, you know, and say, you know, you got this guy that has all these different signature moves that everybody knows. Well, how can we, you know, how's that gonna fit in to what we do? So it wasn't about, we're gonna make this a Matt Hardy match. It was, no, this was a Issac and Joseph Knight match with Matt Hardy in it. Joseph there, you can see, kind of fed around a little quickly there, but it still worked. Still worked. And right around that side effect there, I was real happy with that whole deal. And this was also right around the time of the re-establishing the Team Nashville thing. They were coming into their second phase, so Team Nashville had already came back together at this point, and that it all kind of would wrap back around to Matt Hardy and the times he had worked with Chase, and Shane Williams was involved in some of that as well. Just remember the crowd really being there for this entire contest. Like I said, I think a lot of that had to do with them not knowing what to expect. And like something like this here, you know, you would think, you know, well, someone like Matt isn't gonna, you know, isn't gonna go for this or take this kind of a risk, but he did, and it paid off. It really was one of my favorite moments of this match because it was so dangerous, but at the same time, just really unpredictable. Because I'd always did the sunset flip power bomb. Here I am. Sunset flip power bomb, while Matt Hardy simultaneously gives Joseph Knight a superplex. Risky maneuver for someone like Matt Hardy to do, you know. I think we're coming up on the climax of this contest here, and even putting together or filling out this ending here was really fun. And this was I think this is definitely Joseph Knight's first time working with a big name. I mean, I had worked with Goldust by this point, and Chase and a lot of the other guys. Huge senton. That was... big twist of fate there. You know, cool that I got to take the twist of fate, but still painful. You know, I mean, it was, you know, I lived, but it was painful. And, this match is essentially over here. Like I said, this was kind of the re-establishing of Team Nashville. This was a big moment too, because this ended up there's something that happens in this there's something that happens in this match that ended up going on actual wrestling websites and dirt sheets, because it was never really done. You're about to see it here. This top rope pile driver was really quite dangerous, and it ended up on the dirt sheets. People were talking about this because this was really crazy, really dangerous thing to do. Oh man, I still have a hard time watching that. That's scary. Well, guys, it's been fun, you know, doing something like this. I hope I get to do more of these in the future, and I hope you all enjoyed it.
I'm just leaving Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, after a hell of a match. Wrestled two young kids, two up-and-comers, you know, starting at the very bottom, working their way up, seeing a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of passion. And I appreciate that, and they really did. Considering I'm the old, crusty veteran, it's been in the business 23 years, they gave me a hell of a match. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But when it was all said and done, and I'd hit that twist of fate, and it was time to do 1, 2, 3, get the hand raised, go out to the bar, have a beer, that wasn't the scenario. Team Nashville hit the ring. And it wasn't so much for me, because there's two guys that I greatly respect. Chase Stevens, Cain, Shane Williams, no doubt. Bottom line, two of the best guys in the industry today. I don't care what roster you look at, WWE, TNA, right here, Pigeon, wherever. They are two of the best in the industry today. They came to the ring, they beat up these young guys because the business needs changing, is their viewpoint, and they're right. But you can't take it out on those guys. The business needs to be changed from the top all the way down, and it is guys like them that can do that. But it's all on how you do it, Team Nashville. Team Nashville, I respect the hell out of you. And if you had a little bit of a different philosophy, if your perspective was a little different, I'd be right by your side doing the same thing, because I am here to change the business. And you guys can label yourselves as the saviors of wrestling, but you have to look at it from a different viewpoint, because your perspective right now is a little skewed. Chase Stevens, King Shane Williams, I have nothing but respect for you. We don't see eye to eye. You're two great guys. You're two good workers. You want to change the business? Do it the right way. And if you decide to do it the right way, Matt Hardy will move from Cameron, North Carolina, and come to Nashville, because I know Nashville is the place I grew up watching and loving wrestling. It made me love wrestling. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But when it's all said and done, wrestling comes from the heart. It's a love, it's a passion, and that's what it's all about. I am the walking embodiment of it. Next time I'm here, whether there's two young kids or whether it's Team Nashville, I am here to entertain and to make the professional wrestling business a better place.
In the summer of 2017, Tommy Henry led a group known as The Following, with Joseph Knight, Tyler Jett, and none other than Keith Knox. On this night, Keith Knox, Tyler Jett, and the rest of the faction laid waste to the KFW locker room. What followed next was one of the most unthinkable moments in KFW history, as Tommy Henry turned his back and put the hit on his daughter. What followed was a moment of complete rage by the KFW audience as the KFW event was swarmed with police officers. Fans were disgusted and beside themselves in one of the darkest moments in KFW history.
You can start.